Today's book review is of The Roommate by Frida McFadden. So this book starts out with Brooke, who is getting a job at this prison, and one of the things they tell her is not to, have any contact with the inmates or anything like that. Well, unbeknownst to the people who work in that prison, she already has a connection with one of them, Shane Nelson, and he was a football star, and she knew him back in the day when they was kids. So the story kind of jumps between the present and 11 years ago, and so like I said, it jumps between the present and 11 years ago, and a lot of crazy stuff happens. Like, you get how they met and everything, and then you get going back to the present day. He gets hurt and everything, and she has to stitch some stitches in his forehead, and she's all stressed and got anxiety about it because she was trying not to have anything to do with him, and shit like that. Then it's you know it just gets crazier from there. And then it talks about how they had this party over at Shane's house, and people ended up dead. And see, there's this character, Tim Reese, who does not like Shane at all. And see, Tim has always had a childhood crush on Brooke. And he's always had like this childhood crush on her. And so he doesn't like Shane, and Shane is a football star, and he just doesn't see her with him or whatever. So, and not to mention, Brooke has a 9-year-old kid named Josh, and Shane is Josh's father, and he doesn't know that because he's been in prison all these years and everything. So it's just like, wow, so like I said, then you go back to the present, and they find out that Tim is the principal at her son's school. And then Tim starts hitting on her. Well, Shane tells her, basically, you need to watch out for him. He's dangerous. And then it goes back to the 11 years ago where they're having this party. Her and her friends get together. It's her friend Chelsea, her friend Kayla, Shane, Tim, and Brandon. Brandon is one of Shane's friends. He's a football star. Tim is just kind of along for the ride or whatever. He didn't even really want to go, but that kind of was like, oh, just come on, bro. Just do it, man. Just come on, And so they kind of like, I guess they kind of like pushed him into it or whatever. So, so then basically people start dying in the 11 years ago part of the story, and then what's crazy? There's this babysitter that is babysitting Josh while Brooke is at work, and let's just say the babysitter isn't who you think she is. This sweet innocent old lady is not who you think she is. And so going back to 11 years ago, so they have the party, people start dying. Tim And Shane, well, first of all, Brooke is everybody else is gone, and Tim and Josh are outside, and somebody wraps a necklace around her throat and tries to choke her to death. So she's like, "Oh my God, I'm dying, and everything." So it's like, wow. Um, and then, like I said, you go back to the present, and her and Tim kind of start getting close and everything, and she starts wondering who did all that 11 years ago and everything. And like I said, Shane's warning her that he he's dangerous and she needs to watch him and everything. So her son is really getting close to Tim too. He's taking him to baseball games and stuff. They've started playing baseball together and everything. And, a lot of twists and plots in this story. A lot of plot twists in this story. Man, like, literally a lot of plot twists in this story. So Josh wants her to move in with him. And she's like, nah, I must stay here and just chill, everything. And he's like, well, why? You can just move into my house with me. She's just like, nah. So, but she's still trying to figure out who tried to kill her all those years ago. Was it Tim, or was it Shane, or was it both of them put together? Because, all of her friends, like I said, they all end up dead. And it's just like, wow. So what exactly happens? And, Shane is not who you think he is either. I mean, he is, but he ain't, because he's another plot twist to the story. Let's just say. Oh, yeah, and plus, there's other girls that go missing, too. Let's just say a body turns up in Tim's basement, and yeah, that's all I'll say, because I don't want to give anything away. And Shane ends up getting out of jail. Which that's not really giving anything away either. So he gets out of jail. He's out temporarily, and then, like I said, so what actually happens to Shane and Brooke? Do they end up getting back together, or does some twisted shit happen at the end? I don't know. You're going to have to read the book to find out. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Inmate book review. I hope you've enjoyed this audio only video, and I would have to say this book is really good. If you haven't read Frida McFadden, I would really give her a chance, because she has a lot of good books, a lot of great works. So give her a chance, man. If you have not read Frida McFadden, and if you haven't seen any of my previous book reviews reviewing Frida McFadden, I will go back and watch those or listen to those. If you are totally blind, go back and listen to those. If you are sighted, you can go back and watch those. But you don't really have to watch them, because all I was doing was looking at the camera and talking. But so you can literally listen to those, and so just yeah, like I said, do that, man, and give her a chance to give those books a chance. And if I had to rate this book, I would rate it probably a 10 out of 10. Like, I mean, because there's only been one Frida McFadden book that I did not really get into, and that was the Coworker. I mean, it was okay, but like, it just didn't have the feel and the ring to it that all the other ones did. But so yeah, man, that's, like I said, that's gonna do it for me in this audio only video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Do what you do your thing, and always make sure you stay on top of your game. You feel me? Peace. I'm out.